Hi everyone, my name is Avalon. Thank you so much for being here today. Today is a June tour, 2023 June tour. The garden has really exploded. There's a lot of work to do, but I want to show you guys what it looks like before I put any work into this garden right now. I think the previous video you guys just saw was me pruning these tomatoes, and as you can see, they have grown so much since, so they need more pruning. But today we're going to go through what the garden looks like as well as my container garden, so let's get started. So I live in New York, Zone 7B, and the weather has been pretty temperamental still. I think you guys probably heard me say that multiple times, but things are looking pretty good. Things are starting to kind of flourish a little bit, so I'm happy about that. But in comparison to maybe where things were last year, it is not there. But yeah, so I'm going to take you guys through. I hope I don't see any spotted lantern flies because those things freak me out. Alrighty, so let's get started with the tomato bed. As you can see, things are crazy. I can't even decipher what is what right now, so that's telling me that definitely that I need to start pruning again. But I have a lot of tomatoes, well, blooms, a lot of flowers. Actually, oh look, I don't know if you guys could see that. Little tomato there, little baby tomato. So something's happening. My basil I have harvested multiple times. Yeah, but my peppers are kind of getting shaded out, so that's why I also know I need to start pruning and pinning some things up. But things are looking really great overall. This one is my cherry, and this one's going nuts. Compared to this cherry plant, this one's really small. I don't know if you guys could tell, but this one's really tiny. So I don't know what's going on with this one, but this one is showing out, definitely. But yeah, things are looking really great, and I'm proud of this bed, right? But the peppers, as I said, are being shaded out, so I have to trim my marigold, trim these tomato plants because they aren't getting the love that they deserve back there. So this next bed, I have eggplants, beets, carrots, peas right for now, some onions, and in the back I have, I forgot what I planted. Oh my gosh, I will have to write it on the screen. I also have celery. So as you can see, my eggplants, I have a lot of flowers on there, although this plant was struggling. I think just about all my plants are struggling, to be honest with you, but they have a lot of blooms, and I'm just kind of leaving it now. Before I was picking off a lot of the flowers just to allow it to get a little bit stronger, set its roots, and now I'm just letting it do its thing. This marigold is like going nuts. Again, I'm going to have to trim that because it's going to start shading things out even more. My celery looks really good, taking off. My beets, unfortunately, there's all these little flies. My beets, unfortunately, are being succumbed to the leaf miners, but I was watching a video and someone was saying that even though that's the case, that the beets will still do really great. I'm gonna see if I can take you guys in a little closer. See if there's any, oh, there's like a beet right there. These plants were struggling from the get-go, so I could totally understand why they look like this. But I do have some beets. Okay, these flies are attacking me. I do have some beets developing, so that's really great. My carrots and my parsnips are looking really great too, so that's really good. This nasturtium is kicking off really nicely as well. It's shading out some of my carrots, but sometimes I just move the plants over and allow it to get some more sun. This is my first time successfully growing peas. There's actually a pea right here to harvest. They have been tasting delicious. I have a lot of blooms, so I'm excited to get more. I also have my okra plants, which I tend to forget because it's just being shaded out just a little bit, but the weather is not even optimal for it yet, so I'm not too worried. I know it's gonna start taking off, but I have a regular green variety and a red variety, which is really cool because they have these pretty red leaves. Rutabaga, that's what I planted in the back. I don't know if you guys can see. that all the way back there. Rutabaga, which I've never grown, but I think it'll be fun to try. So they're behind these peas, and once it starts getting really hot, I'm gonna pull the peas out. But yeah, I have like actually 3 peas to harvest. How exciting. I'm possibly gonna harvest those later on today to just like throw in a meal. It'll be really nice. So over on this back bed, I don't know if you guys remembered what I said I wanted in this back bed. I wanted flowers, and a lot of my flowers are coming up. But I actually started some zinnias on the inside because the slugs were taking them out each and every time. So I have a bunch of starts that I actually need to plant out. I'm probably gonna do that next weekend because I want them to get a little bit more bigger. Actually up-potted them as well because they were really small. So I don't want to put them in and then the slugs see food and come and eat them. So the back bed, this is called Nicotiana, this plant. It gets really, really big. I actually had one in the middle and I pulled that out because it was starting to shade everything out. And I mean, the leaves get humongous, right? And I have buds, so I'm super excited to see what this is gonna look like. Yeah, so this back bed is just like flowers. Back there, those are African daisies. These right here, they have like 1 bud. I'll get a little closer on the other side. I have this, I'll tell you about that chamomile in a minute, but I have zinnias. My ranunculus is dying back. I have to figure out how to, like, do I just let it get brown in the soil or do I dig them up? I'm not sure, but I probably just cut them down and then dig them up later on. I have like few chamomiles that I like planted in like the sides over here. Like I have 1 flower. So yeah, that's what's pretty much going on here. And I did like a little bit of a spring mix throughout the bed as well. In this back section here, I have bush beans. Okay, so I have a ton of bush beans. They look really good. Of course, I may have some like maybe beetle damage or something like that. Sorry guys if you see me swinging, the bugs are trying to eat me. I had a lot of slug damage initially, but I need to check things out. I just haven't really had a chance to, so I'm gonna do that. I did plant like a zinnia here. I planted my African marigold over here. It's struggling a bit, but it'll do its thing when it's ready. I have another marigold over there, and then right here in the middle, which I'm gonna harvest very soon, on my garlic. And they have died back. The bottom leaves have died back. I have harvested the scapes, so I am super excited to pull that. That will be the next video you guys see, is the garlic harvest, which I'm very, very, very excited about. So this bed right here, I think it's such a pretty bed. The onions that I planted here have really taken off. They look really good. They're getting taller. The stalks are getting stronger, except these. I don't know what variety these are, but this variety right here, is doing its thing right now. It looks so good. I may have to go ahead and spoon and like try to see if I could put the take away the soil around. Maybe that would help it start bulbing up. I have peppers here, which did struggle, but they're starting to pick up, so I'm excited for that. I planted a marigold here, and this nasturtium is just life right now. Like, look how pretty this nasturtium is. So of course I have a pest that's eating the flowers, but that was the plan. That's the plan. I planted this close to my squash, so whatever squash bugs maybe would then just go ahead and flock to my nasturtiums and not to my squash and my cucumbers. So I have cucumbers back here. That's gonna be on this trellis. And then my other squash plants are gonna be here, which are looking pretty good. I've been checking every day to make sure that there are no squash bugs, but things are looking pretty good. I still need to get my trellis because I have been busy, so I still need to get these round circle tomato cages placed here. So I'm gonna get 4 and place them here so they could trellis up. This one is a butternut squash. This one always gets really big and wild, but that's fine. The others will do just fine in the tomato cages. Right over here is something called shadow benny or culantro. It always tries to go to seed. That's what these little shoots are. So I have to actually cut those off and allow it to grow a little bit more. And I have a zinnia here as well. I just like to plant flowers in between. But guys, look at these onions. So big. Compared to last year, I did not have them this big at all. At all. Let me show you guys the back of the tomato bed. So you see the peppers getting shaded out. All right, so the other side of my flower bed, this is the side I was talking to you about. Here's the bud for the African daisy. And there's a few flowers kind of intermixed. This chamomile plant, guys, I'm not even gonna kid you right now. I found this plant in the crack of the concrete where I had it planted last year. And look how crazy it is. It is going absolutely nuts. I get flowers off of it just about every day. This flower is opening right now. Like, look, it's absolutely insane. So I actually want to cut it back because it's just doing the most right now. My son and I, we come out and pick every day. It's really, really nice though. So in the back of the garden right here, I have corn struggling a bit. I'm gonna fertilize it. It's actually time for fertilizing, but I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. I do have some sunflowers, actually 2 sunflowers I'm gonna plant all the way in the back over here. I don't know how well they're gonna do, but it's just nice to experiment. So, but my corn is picking up. Of course, the gardeners came and stepped on this one. So this trellis right here, if you guys remember from last year, I had my long beans growing on it and they're picking up. Taking some time, getting some beatings, but last year was the same thing and they really did produce a whole lot of beans for me. At night, this is really pretty too with my lights. I'm actually gonna add some more, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add some more. I've been like contemplating, but I think I'm gonna add some more lights. But yeah, these are the long beans. Really excited. I need to do a lot of weeding, but that's okay. And then over here, I don't know if you guys could see, these are little baby watermelons. So these are the sugar baby watermelons that I planted here. And they're struggling, but I'm just gonna see what they do and I'm gonna hope for the best. I planted so many seeds, only 3 came up, but I'm gonna leave the 3 and see what happens. And then they will grow up on this trellis right here. Since they're smaller watermelons, I think they should be okay. So now the container garden. Okay, so more Coantra over here. This is lemon balm, if I'm not mistaken. It's looking a bit yellow, so I actually just need to fertilize. I have a lot of fertilizing to do. So this is showing the signs of it's missing a fertilization. This plant here is a lunchbox pepper plant. And I don't know if you guys can see, maybe, yep, little pepper growing. This one is my banana peppers. And I think we have a little one growing right there. So a lot of blooms. This one's my shishito that I planted the last video, growing really nicely. My marigolds, oh gosh, what are these called again? These are kind of dying off as the heat is coming on. So, you know, those kind of die off. My mint. This one is holy basil, looking really good. My strawberries are doing its thing. This one's kind of old. I don't know what happened to it, but there's a lot of good strawberries kind of ripening. The leaves are looking a little bit sad. I'm not sure why, but we'll see what happens. This is my other chamomile plant, so that's really nice. We always get a lot of flowers off of this as well. Parsley. This one, oh, look, a little bee. This one is, gosh guys, why can't I remember the name of this plant right now? But it's doing its thing. I'm gonna put the name on the screen. I'm like blanking out this morning. Right back there is oregano. This is like a beet slash, why can't I remember the name of that flower? Oh my gosh, what is wrong with my brain right now? But this is like a little container. My Thai basil's looking good. And then these are the zinnias I was telling you about. So I want them to like you know, plump up a little bit more, and then they will be ready to go. I don't know if you guys remembered on the last video, I took one of the cuttings, right, and placed it in water, and look, right? They rooted in water. This one was actually like a volunteer. No, this one wasn't a volunteer. This was a volunteer sitting in the bed with the garlic. I'm not sure where it came from, but I rooted it just to like put it in water just to see what it would do. This is like the fork I pricked out the starts with. So right over here I have some pepper plants that I'm actually going to plant in the place where my garlic was, some dill, thyme, oregano that I need to pot up, and then this is the older oregano, not thyme, that I need to take out and then replace with the new thyme that I bought. Today's garden day, as you guys can tell, so I have a lot to do. Another cilantro plant right here, another parsley, 2 parsley plants, which I actually harvested off this parsley. It's growing back already. Green onion and chives are in the back. Right here is 1 lavender plant and another, and I've been getting a few leaves up. So that was actually not leaves, but like the flowers. So pretty. Right here, my son and I, we planted a mix of zinnias, like it's dwarfed zinnias. And then in here, I still have some peas that I'm trying to see if I could get some more because my son really likes them. So guys, I'm not sure what happened to this strawberry plant, but I'm most likely gonna dig it up and plant something else in here. I'm not sure what happened to it. It's not doing well, it's dying, didn't produce anything but runners, so RIP to this strawberry plant. I have a beet growing in there. In here I had something planted, and I don't know what happened. One day I came home from work and it was all turned over and it's gone now. So, oh well, we'll try again next year. Look at this flower. This flower is from lettuce. I know this container looks like a disaster, but it's from lettuce. And I just left it there to get the seeds. I replanted cilantro in here. So this year my plan is to continue to replant cilantro to get harvest. It doesn't like the heat, but if you continue to replant and replant, you will get a harvest. You just have to stay on top of it. Some dill, and then this cilantro went to seed, as you can see, and then this lettuce actually is gonna start flowering too. I just kind of left it there. This is like my back area. Is the garden tour, June 2023 garden tour. Things are looking beautiful. Actually I had to change into another shirt because those bugs were attacking me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tour, and I can't wait to see you for July. Thank you for watching.